photo.
All right, class is officially recorded. All right, Alexia, please tell me, what do you know?
Doc, I wasn't in class yesterday, but the talking point I have about it, I'm still to watch the video is, if I'm asked in an interview about it, I'll tell them I don't build it, but I install I build the reporting servers for them because our developers does the building of SSIS and SSRS, but I build their reporting servers and I optimize their SQL queries for them.
Is that all? Have you put, why you downgrading yourself? We know SQL Server doesn't have backward compatibility. You just downgrade it from 2017 to 2016. Why are you telling them developers build those scripts? I don't do that. No, it's either you don't say it or you say something. All right, Rosalind, please, what will you tell them during an interview about exercise? Let me know. Rosalind, I see your hand up, so I want you to say something.
The one thing I grasped yesterday was that during the installation of the SQL Server,
Move on, say it.
The SQL Server, I forgot, SSRS, what is it again?
No, we're still with I. Don't put the R in it. We've not gone to the R. We're still on the I.
Well, we are told that it is
okay. All right, at least you're trying. That's fine. Let me hear Kevin. Kevin, please. What would you say?
First, I'm going to talk about the project installation of SSIS. I'll tell them that I can build simple packages to deploy. I
have. Use the word I have. Okay.
Yeah, I build simple packages, deploy them to prod, and then troubleshoot errors.
Okay, that's all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's at least you tried. Please, can you just change your name to your real name, Power Luke? I don't know how you look so powerful. Who's that? Power Luke.
Sorry, sir, I forgot to change that. My name is Telvin.
Oh, Telvin. Telvin, that's you.
Sorry about that.
Please change it to your real name, please. Power Luke. Yes.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Yes, Telvin, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I would say first that first SSIS is a feature we can also have in one of the installations in SSMS. And for that feature to be able to function, the first thing is for us to be able to run it as an administrator. And also, one of the main bases for SSMS is because of data migration, moving data from one server to another, or a particular data from, let's say, AdventureWorks. Let's say we want to move person data to a different file. With SSIS, it's an easy step. One can easily use SSIS for. And again, SSIS is basically a feature that is used also for packages. We can use it to either run those packages or import packages. So that's what I would actually say.
Okay, all right. So you've told me quite a lot about what SSIS does. but what I'm missing is what have you done, right? I don't, you can read that off anywhere online, but I want to know what have you done? Olivia, your hand was up. Did you just answer your question and you lower your hand?
No, I'll just have a little explanation about it.
Okay.
It was just my own point of view yesterday. Was SSIS is a platform that allows you to build performance extracting and transforming. And in most cases, SSIS is used for ETL, if I understand it.
Okay. Mega homework. Have we ever been giving you guys mega homework in this class? Mega homework, right? For every one of you before the end of this week, right? Before you come up on Saturday for the interview. I want you to go to your OneNote and dedicate a section there on SSIS and SSRS, a talking point. If someone asks me a question about SSIS or RS in an interview, what will I say? I don't want you to just tell me what it is. We know what it is, but of course you're going to tell me what it is, but you're going to also tell me what you have done in that field, right? SSIS, it's a Microsoft tool, SQL Server Integration Services. We use this technology to move data across from different data sources. SSRS, you can build packages that extract data, probably maybe from a flat file to a SQL Server, from SQL Server back to a flat file. Or you during this movement of data, we have also the transformation phase, meaning I can extract this data from a different data source, transform this data with different tools, and then load this data into my database for analysis and reporting purposes, right? So far, I've told them what SSRS is all about. So far, what I've done personally, I am not an expert in SSRS, but what I've done at my own personal level as a database administrator, providing daily support, 24-hour support, has been at the level of building packages. I'm able to build simple packages that will maybe move data from a flat file or an Excel file into SQL Server, and also be able to deploy this package into my production instance and use this package to schedule jobs and troubleshoot this job if something happens. Now, I've worked hand in hand with developers who are experts in building this SSRS. And what I do is that during this project, my main responsibility as a support DBA is to get this package, maybe deploy them in production, schedule them jobs, and then if these packages fail, I'm able to pull these packages, see if I'm able to resolve it. If I am not capable of resolving this, I pull the developer that is in charge, and we go over this and we try to resolve it and we redeploy it in production, right? So this is typically what I've done. I've also been involved in projects where I was charged to upgrade this SSRS package from lower environment to higher environment. So altogether, this is some of the things that I've been involved when it comes to SSRS. How did that sound?
Good.
A little bit nice, huh? Not so like JSC, but somehow a little bit.
I'll hire immediately.
It's recorded, so you can go back and put it back in your OneNote. Yeah. So
Doc,
yes.
Yeah, while explaining this, is it necessary to also say it was introduced in 2005?
You can
replacing
say that.
GTS.
Yes, you can say that, and you can even see, interview is about words, playing with words, right? It's a whole game. You guys understand that interview is not how much you know, but psychologically, how much you can play with a person's brain and get over the whole thing, right? So, I mean, that interview, you can even bring that point and talk about the fact that, you know, it's a really nice technology. And one thing that I want to mention to you guys is that Microsoft keeps evolving. And one thing that I've noticed with newer version of SQL Server, especially when it comes to SSRS, is that with SSRS, all that installation of SQL Server used to be a feature, but now Microsoft has moved this into a separate installation, and I kind of really like it. You know, like I was actually involved with this project where we were actually dealing with this election database, and what this company actually wanted from me. Now I am bringing a scenario that did not even exist. I am telling you guys, if you go to an interview with that coming out with a scenario and you stand in front of 8 people, you will not think. You know that in an interview, only 10% of their brain is functional. Huh? The 90 is numb. You don't even know anything again. They might ask your name and you forget because you're so tense. I'm telling you. So you have to, in an interview, have all those scenarios put in place, written that. That's why OneNote, because in OneNote you can, they're sitting there and I'm reading my scenario. But if I have to think about that scenario, you will not think about it. So I'm coming out of this scenario like, okay, I was involved in this project, and what these guys actually wanted to do is we have this election database. What happens is that every single time that every county votes, the results are uploaded into an Excel sheet into one of our central database. Now we wanted to have this database loaded into SQL Server so that we can run reports on that. And because we have so many different companies run or different systems running reports on this, we couldn't just have it on an Excel sheet. So I came up with a goal to every single time create a job that will first go to this report, this Excel sheet, extract the data, load into SQL Server, and run report on it. What did I do? I created a simple SSRS package. And because this was a job, this was an election, and the results were coming in randomly, I decided to schedule a job that runs like every 10 minutes. So what happens is that every 10 minutes, a job is triggered. It goes into that database, into the into an Excel sheet, pull the data, load into SQL Server, and have my report running on and generating these fine virtual images that people could see who is winning the election and kinds of things like that. I was actually working in partnership with a different company for the state of New York. I have never worked in New York, but I can come up with something like that and put it something nicely flow, because what we're doing here is just that you're not doing with someone out there, but it's a real scenario, what you would do if you really get this out there. Remember, where you are right now is all about talking points. This is the way you prepare interview. I'm going to go into every topic that we've taught. We have OneNote, and there's so many topics written by other people. How do I put in my own word? Take a topic, build a story out of that topic. Stop telling me in class I did this. When you are out there and you're interviewing, nobody cares where you did it. We want to know what you did at your work. Tell me, bring real life scenarios. Convert this, like this project that you guys are working on, visualization. If I ask you a question, don't tell me in class they asked us to build prod, DR, and dev, we configured. No, we don't want to hear that. I want you to change that into a real life scenario and present it to me like someone who has actually done the work, because you have done the work. It's just the way you present it that will sell, that will make you marketable or not, right? Okay, enough story. From next week, you have all these kinds of stories that we'll talk about. Let's get the work done. So today, we are going to wrap up with what we started yesterday. And what we started yesterday, we actually built a simple package and we deployed this package. Now, I gave you guys homework to build another package, which was just extracting data from an Excel sheet and loading it in SQL Server. Today, what I want to do right now is, how can I use this package that I've built in order to schedule a job that will run at a certain hour, and which is what you, the DBA, does. You get packages built by maybe developers, or you build the package yourself, and you schedule a job, and this job runs at a certain interval, and you get the result. That's what we want to do right now. All right. Question before I move on? All right. And guys, when I'm inspired, I speak at the speed of light. I speak somewhere, sometimes that I don't even understand myself. So forgive me when I go at the speed of light, slow me down, you know, when you hear me going at that high speed. That's something that I've been battling with for years, and I've never solved it. I hope that one day I'll be able to solve the speed at which I talk, because sometimes I don't even understand myself. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, Philip.
What is the difference between a data flow and control flow?
The data flow, what control flow does is it tells you how data is flowing, right? But the data flow really specifies where the data is coming from and where the data is going to. For instance, let me share my screen and show you guys this. All right, if we go back to this yesterday, now on the control flow, when you come on control flow, there's certain things. You can go on control flow, and the only thing I want to do on control flow is I want to build an SSRS package that will run a select statement. For instance, I just want a package that will run a select statement. Now, if I click on this, I will have to specify what is the name, the description, where is it coming from, how many pages I want to do, and so on. It's just telling you how you want, where you want what you want SQL Server to do. Control flow. Now, in every control flow, for example, if I take this one, the moment I click on control flow, it will always take me to my data flow. So on my control flow, if I want to have a data flow from the control tab, control flow, the data flow will specify where the data is coming from. For example, in this case here, I need to specify where the data is coming from and where it's going to. Right? All right. Now let's quickly repeat what we did yesterday, because for some reason it looks like my package got distorted towards the end of the class. So what we're going to do is that we're still on this package, and I'm not going to save it. All right. So this was a package that I built yesterday. So this package from a control flow, I'm looking for a data flow task, right? On the control flow, I can also decide that I want to do a bulk insert task, where if I double click on it, I will have to specify where I want to get the data from, which connection, and what bulk insert I want to have it, right? So meaning that I can go from a data flow task, meaning I get the data, where the data is coming from, what am I doing with it, and where is it going to, from the data flow task. For example, here, my control flow could just be, I just want to execute a package. I want to write an expression. I want to do a script. I want to set up a task that will send an email. I want to do a task that will go to a website and collect information. That's under my control flow. Now, when you do the control flow, you have to go on the data flow and see how is the data flowing in this control flow. That's what we do. Okay. So we are still on this task. So I can close this task and save it. This is what we created yesterday. Right? If you close it, you can go back. If you want to open it, just double click on it and it opens. And you see, this is what we built yesterday. Right? Okay. Now, what I want to do right now is that this task, this data read task that we did here, I'll open it again. If you run it, what we did yesterday is that we are extracting data, and this data is loaded into a table, right? Okay. I need to first stop it. All right. All right. So now, what if we need to, let me build another task, which is I want to let me create another package. And this package this time around, I just want to read another table, right? And I'm going to, from that table, I'm going to send this data not into SQL Server, but into an Excel sheet, right? I'm taking data from SQL Server and I'm sending it to an Excel sheet. How can we do that? Now, for you to do that, I need to create other connection managers. We go back here under our packages, and let's create a package. New package. You see, when you click new package, it always creates this default name, package1.dtsx. That's what we learned yesterday. Now, for you have to rename this. Let me call this one here export data into Excel, right? And accept it, right? Now it opens a blank page here. And the first thing you see your mouse is on control flow. What do I need? I need a data flow task, first of all. For the data flow task, if I click on it, I will need to define where is my data coming from, the source of my data. So I have to go down here and look for other sources and say, I want to have this data from SQL Server. Once you say from SQL Server, you need to tell SQL where in SQL Server you pull in data from, which is the data connection manager. So if I double click on this, it will ask me which connection do I want to create this from. Right now, I'm not seeing any connection manager, so I can go to new. I already have this connection manager from yesterday, so I can select one of them and say, I want to pull data from this. From which table do you want to pull this data from? I'm taking it from this. Let me take a different column this time around. I'll take this product table. That's the connection I want to create. Preview it. Yes, it's actually pulling data. All right. So click OK. So now I have created a source. Where is the data coming from? You can test to see whether the package is correct. You run this. You see that it runs. And it says package executed completely with success. No problem. So after that, what we're going to do is, what am I pulling the data to do with? I want to take this data and load it into an Excel sheet. So I need to go to my destination. I want an Excel destination. Put it here. And I need to connect. If you just put it like that, SSRS doesn't understand that there's a combination between this and this. So you need to connect with what we call precedence. I put it here. So I'm pulling data from here and I'm putting it into this. So I have to configure my destination. In that case, I will double click here and I need to create a connection manager, right? Excel connection manager. It's not created because the data is coming from SQL and it's going to Excel. So I need to also have a connection for that Excel. I can go on new, right? So here you need to tell SQL, where is the data going to be? I want it to be an Excel. I can use this one. These are Excel 2016. And this one says first row has column name. Because you know in Excel, the first row always have the column name, right? So you need to exclude it. Otherwise, it will also put data on the first column. And here I'll browse and tell SQL, where do I want this to be saved? I can save it on my desktop. And I'm just going to call this one here product table. Product. I need to specify the extension dot, and the SQL Excel 2016 is the newer version, so it's XLSX. So dot XLX SSX, right? And then I say open. So it's going to pull the data and it's going to load it into this, and I will deal with SQL 2016 and click OK. Right? So at this point here, we can go on. Let me see, I didn't pick it. Let me see here. Oh, Excel connection manager. I didn't. Okay. All right. Oh, new. No, let me do it one more time. All right. So for connection manager, we have to create a connection manager. And I'm browsing here, and I'm taking it to my desktop, and I'm going to call it here product table, product dot XLSX. Let's say open. So that is it. This is where I'm going to take this to. I click OK. And here I click now OK. Oh, because it's not registered. Okay, I need to register a few things here. Create. Let me run it so I can get the error message, and I will troubleshoot the error message. All right. The required connection method calls connection manager Excel. This is the fail with error message. This. Connection manager Excel. Okay, you know what? Let me first of all create the connection itself, even before I do this. Let me first delete all this. Delete. So I can just select the connection. Delete. And here I'm going to create a new connection. And this connection that I'm creating here, I'll create it as a flat file. Excel, you can create an Excel as a flat file. That's the same thing, right? So let me go with the flat file first. So add. Okay. Now, description, table export. Okay. Where do I want to put it? I browse, and I say I want to put it here. And I'll just call it here product dot text. Let me actually send it as a flat file, text file. All right. So mute your line, the person that's eating like that. Try to troubleshoot. All right, okay. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. English language page. All right, post file. Let me call it. No. No. This is. All right, so I have a flat file connection here. So now, let's bring this inside to a flat file destination actually, and no, not Excel destination, flat file. I want to take it to a flat file. Okay, I double click here. So the flat file connection manager, if you browse now, or you can do a next, a new, and taking a column delimiter a little bit. And okay, so it opens that. And I can browse and look for the, I saved it on my desktop. And where is it? Didn't I save it on my desktop? Where did I save that? I didn't save it on my desktop. All right, it is not letting me do that. I can still. Now, I don't want to confuse you guys too much here. Let me just do on the. Okay. Around the time and see. Yeah. Why is this thing not letting me export it? A minute. I think sometimes okay. So okay, so the connection goes to flat file connection, and I have it here. Okay, all right. So what was missing is that normally when you do here, you have to come on mapping and make sure that you map this from the source, and this is the destination. Map them well, before you do that. So what have I done? Let me start it one more time. Let's start from here. All right, we get data from an OLDB source, and we have to specify where we're getting the data from. This is the connection, and this is the table that I want to pull the data from. And you can view it, you see the data is there from that table. All right, so the next thing is I pull this data and I want to put it into a flat file. I need to configure the flat file. Now I've created a column for the flat file, and you can clearly see here the data on that. I'm putting this data into a table called product.txx. It's a flat file, text file, right? So this is it. And then if I map it now, on the mapping section, you have to tell, when I pull the data from the product, I want it on the destination, it should also be product ID. Name should also be name, and so on. If you want to pull the data and change it, like I showed you guys yesterday, you can actually change the direction there. I want product on the source to be equal to color on the other side. But this is not what we want to do. We want to maintain the same value. So I'll make sure this is on this side. And I click OK. So at this point now, if I execute my package, you see, it has extracted about 504 records from that SQL Server table. And if I go to my desktop, you see this is the flat file, right? And this flat file here has the record that I just brought from SQL. If I can show it here, you see. This is why we call it flat file, because in the flat file, this is how records are saved, right? They save it in this format with a comma delimiter, right? So every single column, comma here is equal to a column. This is why we call this one a flat file. So with this data, you've just extracted data that was in SQL Server into a flat file. I'll build a package that does that. And this is the package here, about 504 records. So I'll give you a chance to show you to do it myself, guys. So at this point here, I have this package, which is exporting data and bringing it from SQL Server into a flat file. Very simple package, right? Let me stop sharing here and I get one of you to share your screen. Let's do it one more time. Esther, please share your screen. All right, no more watching. Now, everybody, get your hands and put your hands on the computer. I want you guys to create those errors so that we can troubleshoot the errors and then move on. If at the end of this class here, my goal at the end of this class is that every single one of you should be able to build a simple package, deploy that package, use that package to schedule a job, and let that job run automatically. All right, okay, perfect. Now, Esther, let's start from afresh. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's start by creating a new package. Can you delete the package? Delete the package you just created into Excel. Just delete it. Let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Delete now the one.
I'm using this database again. So.
Yeah, hold on. Whenever someone starts sharing. All right. Let's do it one more time. Zoom. Okay, let's delete. First of all, start by deleting the package that you created. Delete the entire package. Yes, from the right. Export
right
data.
Here?
No. Export data into Excel. Delete that.
Okay.
Let's delete the package. All right. Okay. Let's say you want to create a package. Let's go ahead. Let's create a new package. All right, rename it. All right, export data into Excel.
Okay.
All right, okay. So an empty file, we start by doing what? Let's get the data flow. All right, okay. Now on the data flow task, we need to configure the data, the control tab. From the control flow Control tab, we're going to configure the data flow. Double click on it and let's. All right, we need the source and the destination. Our source will be that, okay. And then we're going to send this data into a flat file. All right, so let's first of all configure where we're getting data from the source.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so it's either you use your existing connection or you create a new connection. Let's create a new connection to pull the data from a different source. Okay. So you can do it here. You can do it at this level. You can still do it here.
I can still do it here?
Yes.
Okay.
By going to new, it will show you all the connections that you already have, but I can go ahead and see, create a new one.
Okay. New.
All right. Put the server name.
Okay.
Not from the drop-down menu, cancel that. You have to type in the server name.
Yeah, it's coming.
So just cancel it and type it.
Okay, cancel it and type it.
Okay. Now you go down and select the database. Let's do it from Adventures work.
Okay.
And test the connection. Okay, successful. All right. Click OK.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to use that as a connection. Click OK now. All right. Table inside that adventure, what do you want to use? Maybe go with the order table, please. The order. The orders.
Order.
The order.
Have no, can I
just pick anyone?
Product.
Okay. Or take that person table. There's a lot of data in it. I like to see at least some data.
Okay. Okay, person, that person.
Okay. Preview it. Let's make sure it's actually pulling the data. Okay. All right. So we're seeing some data. Close it. Okay. Now you've created a connection. That's where the data is coming from the source. Okay. Now, what would you want to do? I just want to pull this data and then load it somewhere in a flat file. So pick up the flat file, destination. All right, and then create a precedence to pull the data into that flat file. And let's configure the flat file destination. So at this particular moment, you don't have a flat file data connection manager. So I first need to create that. So it's either you just do like that and create it during the whole process of configuring, or you first create and then just pick it up. Right? So let's just go ahead and create it during the configuration. We're going to go on new. And remember I said column delimiter. So the column delimiter separates every single column by a comma, right? You can go with fixed delimiter. The columns are defined by fixed width, right? That you can read more about all this fixed without delimiter, read, right, and all what it all means. But let's just go with the column delimiter for now. Okay, so at this particular moment here, we need to define where our connection will be. A description, you can give any description there, but what is really important is select a file and specify the file properties and the file format. We're going to browse and tell SQL, whenever you pull this data from SQL Server, I want it to load it and keep it here. Dump it somewhere on your desktop. And just give a name. You have to specify and the file type. The extension, sorry, not the file type, the extension. So you might just call it product, or it's person. Okay, you pull the person. TXX, that's a text file. Then open. Right? So it will create that. Whenever it pulls the data, it creates that text file and dump the data into that text file. Right? Click OK. Now, at this point here, you can go back on mappings to really make sure that it's mapping them row by row. Right? You can see it's mapping it from left to right, mapping to the right column. You can change that if you want it. Right? But we don't want to change that, so we're just going to click OK. Why is the X still showing it? Do it one more time.
Okay.
Go back on mappings one more time. Okay. All right. Click OK. Something is still wrong here. Put your mouse on that X sign. Let me see what error message is showing up. The data type is yeah. Click one more time, double click. Go back on that new. Okay, click OK. Click on yes, yeah, browse that. Do it one more time. Okay, open. All right, so let me make sure everything is good here. Column names in the first row. Check that column names in the first row, just on the bottom, little on the bottom. Okay. Yeah, that one. So it keeps it. Okay, click OK one more time now. Then click OK. Go on mappings now. Mapping. Make sure it's mapped correctly. Okay, so it's mapped right. Click OK. Why is this just your X sign on that?
I don't know.
Data type, okay, hold on. Pull them out again. The data type for flat file, destination, column, additional. Open it again. Let me see. It looks like open the destination one more time. And go back on that new. Yes, click OK. Okay. Then go on columns. Okay, browse it first before you do that. Okay, open. Go on columns one more time. Let's see. All right. Go on advanced. Go to advanced. Advanced. For some reason, it's refusing to take that preview. All right. Go back on general. Click OK. Here, column that. Click OK. Okay, click OK for now. Let's see. Click on preview. Let me see if no. Preview. You know what the thing is this? As you clicking new, right? If you look at the bottom, you see that it's creating more connection, flat file connection managers at the bottom. Close this for now. You see how many of them have been created? One, two. Now you're already on the third one right now. So delete them, please. Delete them for me first. What's wrong? Especially the table that we selected there is probably causing some issue. We need to maybe convert the data before we load it. I don't want to complicate matters for you. Let's go back to the source. Let me change that table that we selected. Yes, let's change that table. Take down my product table. At least that one did not give me issues. The product. Oh, that one. The one. Yes.
This one?
Review it. Yes. Preview. Okay. All right. Click OK. All right. Now let's configure one more time. Let's reconfigure. All right. Mappings. Yes. Do that. Okay. Mouse. All right. Click OK now. And then go back on mappings. Let's verify again.
Mapping is not right.
Expand that. Sometimes it's just the way. Why is it not mapped? It's mapped right now. Expand that top one a little bit. Just that one, just expand it. Expand by dragging down instead. Expand it at the bottom. Yes, like that.
It's not going more than there.
On that.
No.
Okay. I want it's mapped correctly. It's just that.
Yeah, it's just two of them that are mapped wrong.
No, it's not mapped wrong. They're not mapped wrong.
Is now?
You see, it's row. You see, the last one at the bottom is row guide and modify date. Go back on the left and see where those two are mapped to. Row guide and modify date.
Yeah.
Just appear somewhere else. Click OK. Pick your lines, people. Pick your lines. Let me make this first. All right. Why is it showing me two errors now? Click on that one in the middle one more time. There's some mapping errors in the start. Okay, let's remove that part first. Remove the precedence. Click on that precedence. Remove it. Remove it. Just click on it, delete it. Just click on it and delete it.
Okay.
Delete it. Map it one more time. Now, even remove the flat file and do it one more time.
Delete the flat file?
When you just click on it, you can use delete button on your screen and delete for you. On your keyboard. Yes. All right. Let's do it back. Put it back again. All right.
You want me to delete this one too?
Yeah, delete that one also. I want to do it one more time. Okay. And let's map them one more time. Okay, let's configure the flat file one more time. New connection manager. Browse it. Your desktop. Okay. Okay, open it. All right. Click OK. Let's go back and map it. Make sure the mapping is done right. Okay, this time around is done right.
Yeah.
Click OK.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Some reason I don't know what was going on. Run that package. Let's see. This is simple package. SSRS package can be very complicated though. Like some of them can be very complicated. Move data here, transform, upload, do this. This is a very simple package. It just moves about 504 records from that table, put it in a flat file. That's it. All right. Okay. Let me stop here and troubleshoot who is having issue before we go into deploying that package.
Okay.
Raphael, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Got it right?
So far.
Who's having issue? Michelle, are you good? Your line is muted.
Yeah, I'm not good.
You're not good?
No, sir.
All right. Share your screen. Let's look at it together.
Okay. Mr. Shares.
If you got it right, guys, then just hold on, don't deploy it for now.
It's where I'm trying to connect you.
All right, we don't want to, we're not sending it to an Excel sheet. Let's delete that. Let's connect, we're sending it to a flat file.
Okay, you want me to
Send it to
cancel
a
this
flat
one?
file. Yes,
Okay.
cancel that. Delete that. Send it to a flat file, please. When you click on that, if you just use the delete keyboard, it will just delete for you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. No, you have to first create a precedent. There's no precedent. Click on the source and link it to the destination. Nobody has asked me here, why is it that when you click there are two arrows? Nobody. There's a blue and there's a red. What does it mean?
I was going to ask that too.
Yeah, the red arrow just simply tells me if I want to create another string. The blue is if it goes right, I want it to move the data from the source and send it to the destination. But it should, in case an error exists, I still want my SSRS not to fail, but send the error message somewhere else. I can move that red arrow and send the output of the error message somewhere, and I don't let my package fail. Right? Once you start going here complicated, you can start doing things like that. All right. Now let's configure the fat file. Go new. All right. Column delimiter. And let's just dump it. Yeah, leave that one.
That's okay.
Yes. Okay. And let's just dump it somewhere on your desktop.
Okay.
Okay, open. All right, click OK. And make sure the mapping is done right. Okay, it looks good so far. Why is it failing now? No, close this for now. Close it. Go back to that source. Where's the data coming from? Because when you select some, you see you're always coming from address table. Some of the tables need some transformation of some rows. The data type here doesn't match. So you need some serious transformation before, and I don't want to bring that here. It will start complicating the whole thing. Let's just do it from that product table. Product table. Go down. That one. That one. All right. Okay. All right. Now delete that and read. Delete the flat file. No, delete the flat file and do it again. Right now the mapping is wrong because it came from a different table and the precedent was already there. So delete that. All right. Did you create the connection manager already? No. All right.
Not yet.
Okay, recreate it now. Link them up. No, Michelle, you have to first link them up.
Yeah.
Click on that. All right. New.
New. That's okay.
Yes. All right. I didn't see you write the name of the table. Did you write it?
I'm going to write it right now.
Okay. .txt. Yes. Okay. Click OK. Verify that the mapping is done right. Okay, click OK now. It should work now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Run that file. Simple package. Very simple package. Just execute the file on the start. Yeah. Run.
I will stop sharing to be able to run.
Some of you will never want to buy two screens.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So simple package, right? We got that. All right. Yes. Now let's go ahead and deploy that package. We find a lot of issues on that. Let's deploy the package and see how it works out.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Raphael, yes?
So I see you're recording?
Yeah, I'm recording, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
Yes.
we've built this package. Now this package needs to be deployed. It's very simple to deploy the package. Raphael, can you walk me through how I should deploy my package? Hi, Raphael.
Yes, sir.
Can you walk me how I should deploy this package? Do you remember?
No. Yes.
Doctor, I got a problem with my Visual Studio.
What kind of problem, Jackie?
Let me share my screen. You see, doctor, I don't know how to explain that.
All right.
So ever since I've been fighting with it, just like this.
Who can bring Jackie's Visual Studio back? Jackie, go back on View. Go on Solution Explorer. And go back on View again. Then you have to go to
Toolbox.
Toolbox at the bottom. Toolbox. All right. So at this, you can see on the left we have Server Explorer. Click, expand the ones on the left.
Yeah.
No, that one. The left side. Go on the left. Yes, that one. Click on that. No, click on the next one. Toolbox. When you close it and reopen it, it's still show the same?
Yes, sir. I've been fighting with it. It is even taking me back.
So you go up to the taskbar up there under debug. You click there.
Go on that debug message.
Stop debug.
It's not debugging right now at this particular moment. It's not. Well, let me see, Jackie. Let me see if I can do something. Hold on, see.
All right.
It's just there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a view that looks different. I think somewhere. Why can't I click? Did you give me permission? Yeah.
Oh, let me give it to you one more time. I'll give it to you.
I can't click anything. Let me give it back, and then request it one more time. All right. I want to say Zoom is not really the best screen sharing tool to take over control and use it. It's not letting me click. Go back on view. It's just a view. It's just the way it looks like. I want to check here on the classic look, class view. No, actually on the go down where you have the property window all the way down. That one, yes. So at least we have that window back. Now go back to view. Now let's get the Solution Explorer window. Okay, and then wait a minute. Oh, let me check for my screen here. Let me just bring this one back again. Terminal.
Actually, will stop disturbing behind the scene with pots.
Hello?
All right.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, if he clicks on window on the Visio, he clicks on it and then take float. He's going to have a normal view. Take float.
Take float.
Yes. Yeah.
This was supposed to be on the right, right? Yeah.
You're good, Jackie. It does the screen look like that?
No, you are good.
But hold that thing, drag it.
Those things are floating. You can pull it to the right, left, or center anywhere.
Yes, you can drop it anywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
And when you drop it, pin it. Just pin it so that it can stay there permanently.
Okay. Jackie, it's just a flavor kind of thing. You don't have any problem. It's just a flavor. Okay. All right. Let's get going, guys. We're almost running out of time on this. I just want to quickly wrap up this before I move on. So we see here we've deployed our package. The package is here. To deploy this package is simple. I told you, if you go on the package, right-click on the package, you have the option that says you can run this package or you deploy this package. When you click deploy, it opens this deployment wizard. Next, now I want to deploy it in SSIS and SQL Server, not in Azure. Now, which server do I want to deploy it on? I want to deploy it on this production because I already have my SSIDB database. If I browse here, I already have that created. So I can connect. If I click here on connect, the SSIS will be deployed on which project do I want to deploy it on. I can change the project and I create a new project here called export data. And it's a project which I'm also going to create. Right now, the package is called export data. Next, and deploy. See, it deploys that successfully. It's now loaded on that server. If I go here now, this is prod. I just deployed it in prod. Expand it. Go here, expand this. I can see under my project load data package, which I can also right click here and run the package, right? Let me refresh this. Package is there. Package, export data, and that's the package here. I can now execute. If I execute it, it's the same thing. Now I'm executing this package now inside SSMS. And it runs the package and it's telling me, okay, everything looks good. The package executed successfully. All right. So this is how you do it. Let's do it one more time. This time around, I'm not going to deploy it in prod. I'm going to deploy the package down here. What's the first thing I need to do to deploy a package on an instance? I need to make sure that SQL Server integration package, right, catalog, the database is created. There's no catalog here. So if I try to deploy it on this new instance, it's going to fail because there's no catalog. Let's try it. Let's deploy the same package here. This export data Excel, say deploy package. Next, SSRS package. Next, this time around, I'm not going to do it in prod. I'm doing it in STG, and then I connect. It says here, what is the error message? The catalog SSRS was not found. So to deploy a package, I wish you can put it somewhere in your talking point and explain this thing here. If you try to deploy a package in SSRS, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that an SSRS DB package is created, and SQL Server allows you to create this package inside SSMS directly on an instance. Once you've created it, you can create a project and deploy the package from Visual Studio directly into SQL Server. All right, so let's cancel this. Go back to SQL Server, and then let's create that catalog. Create catalog. And I've told you that this catalog always comes with what? An encryption password. If you forget this password, the whole thing is messed up. And it has already happened to me at work. So I'm just going to put here password one, and password 1. Simple. I create. See, on that stage instance, I now have my SSRS catalog, and it has no project in it. So I can go back here and export this, deploy this back. So deploy package. Where do you want to deploy it? It's an SSRS package. Next, in staging, I connect, and it automatically does not find it. So I can browse to this. You see, it's trying to browse the old one, which it was in prod. I don't have that. So if I browse here, it shows me the catalog, and I can create now a folder. I'm just going to call this one here export. Or maybe I call it project 2 as a folder. And under this folder, I need to create a project. And this project is called export. Data. And the export data as a project, right? That's the project. And then the package will now be deployed directly in there. See, that's the package called load data project. And I deploy. Now this package is sitting inside here, and I can use it now. If I refresh this, I can use it now. This is the projects, and that's my packages. I have it here. Remember, earlier on, when we started, we were connecting directly to SQL Server. You have two ways you could connect directly to integration services. Here, I'm connecting to SSMS, and I'm seeing my packages. I can also connect directly into SQL Server. Let me stop here and then see. Felix, everything okay?
Yes, Doc.
All right. Haifa, everything okay? Haifa?
Yes.
You good?
Yes. Yeah, I'm good, but I tried to create a catalog. I'm back. I missed you.
Okay, share your screen.
Okay. But I'm working in another device not connected to the Zoom.
Not connected? Okay, let me get someone else. Timothy. Okay. Timothy, are you okay? Timothy? All right, let me get someone else. Let me get Baye. Are we good?
Yes, we are good in theory, but I need more hands-on. But I mean, the
okay.
theory makes
So
sense.
you're not on the same spot with everyone. Okay, Steve, are we good?
I'm really far behind, so I was at work and I came in late.
You just came back. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not good, sir. Can I share?
Who wants to share? Okay, go, Marcia, please. This is the last exercise I'm doing on this, so I can use the remaining 1 or 30 minutes to show you guys. Let's do the SSRS part. I'm running out of time already. Okay. So you have the same problem that Jackie had, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Go ahead and deploy it. Deploy. Next. Okay. Next. All right. Connect. Where you connect it? No, you don't. No, there's no reason to browse. You have to type in the name of the server. You have to type the name.
Okay.
No, type the name on the server name. Type the name in there. Server name, box. Yes. Okay. Connect. All right. You have to browse now. It's not finding the SSRS DB. Integration service catalog was not found. So it means you did not create the SSRS DB catalog. So we need to go back to that prod instance and let's create a catalog. All right, let's create a catalog. All right, enable CLI integration. And then give the password 1, please.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, go back, let's deploy it. Continue the deployment. Browse one more time now. It finds it. And then create a folder. Just create a folder, maybe call it project 2. Everything is from the catalog, you have a folder. From a folder is a project. On that project, you have the package.
You have to give a description or
And then give a project, give the project name now. That folder was actually a folder, not a project itself, but it's okay. You can also call the project 2 also.
you have to
You have to create a new folder, new project, and then give the project name, project 2.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
All right, click OK. So that package now will be loaded under that. Next. And deploy it. All right, package deploy. Click close. Close it.
I mean,
if you go now on that instance and expand that, you should be able to see the package.
Thank you, sir.
On that project, expand projects, you should be able to see the package under the project. That's the package. All right. Let's get this over with. Now, look, there are 2 ways you can connect. Yesterday, we started by connecting directly to SSRS, right? Now I connected to SSMS and you could see the project under the catalog. If you don't want to connect to SSMS, you can connect directly to, instead of database engine, you can connect directly to integration services, right? And connect, browse, expand. This is where we have this on. And if I connect, what am I connecting to? Let me do one more time. Not database engine, integration services. And then browse. On the integration services. Now I'm getting issues that yesterday I did not have the issue. That's not letting me do it anymore.
It's because you didn't run it with the administrative.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I have to run it. Access is denied.
Yes.
Yes. Good catch, Olivia. Good catch. All right. Let me just do it. You run this as administrator. Run as administrator. You guys are not dropping off today, huh? Yes, I see how my 57 people in class. Okay.
We die here.
They will die here, right? Integration services. And if you browse, you see that's there, and they will connect. Now, what happens now? You see running packages. We're going to now see, why is it not showing me? It's going to show me the running packages here. I was expecting I was going to see. All right. Yeah, I think that what Microsoft has actually changed is that the concept of the catalog. But in the old one, if you do this with 2016 and below, and log on like this, you're going to see under running packages, all the packages that we deploy showing up here. Right? But from 2019 and above, Microsoft decided to bring in the concept of catalogs. And with catalogs now, instead of going through that route, you have all the packages that are deployed on that instant running here. You can just open here directly and see the packages. Okay, last exercise, and we move on, is how can I use this package to schedule a job? Right? Why is my SQL Server agent job disabled? We start it. Okay, that's what you're going to do. You deploy packages, you're going to wake up every night and run the package. You want to schedule jobs using that package. So once I have the package deployed, the developer has given me the package and it's deployed, I need to use SQL Server agent job to create jobs to run the package for me. All right. So let's go ahead and create a new job. New job. No, let me see. Let's do right click. And then you're going to, you see, manage job category and so on. Let's go new job. And I'm going to call this job here data load. Owner, remember owner. Who should be owner of jobs? SA. Never leaves you, don't leave individual run jobs. But if that individual leaves the company, the jobs will start failing. See, category, under category, the type of job that we need to create is going to be called, let's see here, it's going to be, hold on. Let me not categorize the job. I'm just going to create a step on this job. Okay, this is where we have to put it. I'm going to create a step, and this job is going to, the step is just going to be data load step on the job. All right, see, this is where you have to, it plays a role. What type of step, what type of it? Is it a Transact SQL script that you want to run? But you scroll down, you see what? SQL Server Integration Services Package. So if I take this, SQL Server by default automatically find all the packages that are loaded on that server, right? And we're doing it under which server here? If I browse here,
You should just provide a server name. Most of the time, it takes a lot of time to.
It takes a lot of time to, yeah. I should have just typed the server name. Can you see? Okay, okay. Now I get the server name here, right? Now, because I've selected the server name here, I have the option now to browse. You see, and that takes me to this SSIDB, and I can just scroll down and say, I need this package, data read, or maybe this other one here, data import. Okay, select it. Now I'm scheduling a job, and the job is what? An SSRS Integration Services Package job, and it's on the server. This is the job I want. I click OK, and that's it. This job, when do I want it to run? I create a schedule, new schedule. Let's call it data load. And the schedule, maybe I want it to run every day for me. And it should run maybe at 12 midnight. Click OK and finish. So you see there's a job here that I've created, and this job is an SSRS integration job. And you can manually right click and run the job, or it runs at the scheduled hour. This is what you DBAs will have to do. You get packages, you schedule jobs with these packages, and if this package fails, you can troubleshoot, see it runs successfully. Right? So this package now runs as a job, which is an SSRS package. Let me stop sharing. Let me get someone else. I'll do 2 more demo, and then we'll move on with a new topic. Olivia, please share your screen. No, you are the look only mode. Looking only mode. All right, Terria, please. Can you share your screen?
Amelia should share her screen. I think Amelia is really doing good. Amelia.
Who?
Amelia.
Oh, Amelia. Okay, Amelia, please share.
Amelia, share your screen. That's my white horse.
Amelia, are you also in the looking only mode? You're not in the looking only mode. Okay, that's good. All right. Was it already deployed?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the server then. So I see SSMS was already open. Just go to, it's just so many pages that you have. Go down to your taskbar and then go select, scroll back up. Go to next page. on the taskbar.
I wasn't running as a administrator.
Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Just to connect. We just want to connect to SSMS. Open it. I thought it was already open. Okay, that's fine.
So I just closed it.
Okay. Taking forever for SSMS to open? Okay, all right, expand your screen, please. All right. So where did you deploy, which instance did you deploy this on?
The pod instances.
Okay. But that's not prod, that's UAT.
Yes, sir.
Is that where you deployed it on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's open it. Okay, all right. So you have the expand, let's use the package. Very good, okay. Perfect, export data. Okay, now let's go ahead, let's open SQL Server agent, let's create a job. New job, new job. All right, let's just call it data export. Or data load, anyway, however you call it. Okay, click OK. No, you have to go on the steps. The steps. Amelia, go on the steps. Okay, create a new step. New step. Call the step same, data load. All right. Okay, so we're not running it as a T-SQL script, we're running it as an SSRS. So on that type, let's select SSRS. SSRS package. Bottom. Next. One at the bottom.
So which one?
SSRS, the one just at the bottom of that. SQL Server Integration Service package. Okay, cool. Right, now type the server name in there. Now that you do not rename your computer, are you going to be able to do that?
So
Desktop. Some of you, we never want to practice best practice. We spend time here renaming computers. You see, want to keep NDATILA. NDATILA. Huh? Is it a new computer?
No, sir.
Backslash UAT. You pay fine. All right. Okay. So on the bottom where you have packages, let's browse and get the package. It will just go on that server and look for the package. Okay, let's get the package. And when we seeing this thing like that, and you look at it as if it's something simple, wait until your managers will say, okay, Amelia, please get this package from the developer and please schedule a job for us to run every. You will thank me. Hey, the day you call, those are not listening to my class, the day you call, your 1 hour a mentor will be means $200 an hour. Select the Go on export data and let's select the package. Plus, click on the plus sign. Export, expand that. And then get it, okay, get the package. All right, click OK. And then click OK now. See, you pick the package that is under that server that has been deployed. Now we just go on the schedule and then schedule it to run maybe once every day. New schedule. Let's call it data load. Same name. Data load. However, that sound, I don't like that sound. Everything okay?
I'm good, but I have a problem. When I did execution for the job, it gives me a message. Can I share now because I'm connected with Zoom?
Let's click OK.
Maybe I didn't schedule it. Maybe I didn't schedule it.
Okay. Well, click OK. Hold on, click OK.
Okay.
And then you're done, right? This is a whole project from Visual Studio, deploy the package to SQL Server, then schedule a job for it to run, and then you can now watch more videos on how to troubleshoot these packages when they run. There's things that are called package history, how often it has been running, how long was it running. If users start complaining, you can go back to the history and say, okay, for the last 20 days, this package has been running for 10 minutes. Why is it only running that for 2 hours? And you start beginning to troubleshoot things like that. All right. So watch videos, homework, watch videos on how to troubleshoot SSRS packages. All right. Okay. So guys, I'm not going to go into deep dive troubleshooting session with you guys on SSRS. This was actually to help you guys understand how you can use this SSRS package. It's a very basic introduction on this. There's a lot that you can still learn on this. If you are interested, look for schools, go on Udemy, find any place that you can learn and learn more. But what I've demonstrated here for your jobs that you'll soon be applying in a couple of weeks is just enough for you to go out there and talk about it, say what you've done. It's enough as a DBA. All right? Okay. Now let's move on. You have now extracted data. You've now loaded this data into SQL Server and you've scheduled jobs for this data to run. Now, how will you use this data to run and reports? Right? Now that brings the R into SSRS. I'm not going to do anything on SSAS in this class. We're doing just SSRS. Now, SSRS itself, it's a reporting tool that Microsoft uses to run reports and generate reports. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the installation, how to configure SSRS on the server, and how we can use that to probably migrate from one server to another. In case you are working on SSRS and you are being asked to migrate this SSRS server from server A to server B, how will you do that? Guys, even if you did not succeed with the SSRS, these two things are completely independent. You can still do this. We don't need the Visual Studio anymore. So pay attention now. Let's get the ball rolling. Okay. So I'm going to go back and share my screen. So for those that have not been participating, you can now participate again on what we're about to do right now. So let's close this Visual Studio. Like I said, there's still a lot that you can pull from Visual Studio. You have it available with you. Play with it. Get enough out of it. So the next thing that we need to do right now is one of the changes that Microsoft brought as far as SSRS is concerned is, who can tell me, is
it can now be installed as a server of its own.
As it's no longer a feature installation. It's a separate installation on its own. All right. So when you're installing SQL Server 2019 or 17 and above, it's a whole installation on its own. So let's get back our media and run the installation. So we have, where's expand my screen, and then this PC. All right. Okay, I still don't have the media. All right. So I can pull the media. I have the media somewhere loaded here on this one. Okay, we take and I have here media. And this was a 2019 enterprise core base, this one. All right, let's get our media one more time. Load it. So under installation, you have here install SQL Server reporting services. Right? It's a whole installation on its own. At first, it used to be like SSRS where you can just check the feature and you run the installation. Right now, it's a whole installation. Right? And this is a whole project. Richard just said, hey, Felix, we are trying to run SSRS. SSRS is one of the most used tools right now is SSRS. You're going to deal with it all the time. Whether you like it or not, you're going to deal with it. Romeo can testify here. Most of his tasks right now, he does a lot with SSRS. And he's really working into becoming an SSRS developer. So Romeo, we're looking for you one of the Tuesday webinar. Augusta, are you here?
$200 hourly.
Okay. All right. So we have here, right? Install SQL Server reporting services. It says launch a download page that provides a link to install SQL Server reporting services. An internet connection is required. Right? So we launch it. So it takes you back. So you must not really do this from here. This one just takes you back to this and you can launch it directly. Or you can just go here and say SSRS install. Right? So we're going to run here. We have the enterprise edition. So even if it's expire, we're going to use the product key. So it takes us down here, and where is the download? What? Download SQL Server. No, what? Am I missing anything here? Create, no. Select. Hardware, okay, this is it. Oh no, this is the hardware requirement. Where do I?
Up.
Where's the download? I'm not seeing it.
It's up. Go up. Up at the beginning.
Oh, download. Oh, okay, thank you. All right. SQL Server reporting services from the Microsoft Download Center. All right. Okay, we launched that. It takes us to the Microsoft Download Center. So we could have just gone to Microsoft Download Center anyway, rather than going through this route. We pick the English version of it and we click download. I wonder how long this is going to take, especially for those people that have slow internet. Oh, this is small. This is just 104. So let's click download. Okay, it's downloaded in 2 minutes. It should be done. 1 minute. Please don't tell me I was already lost in the first class. This is completely independent from what we're doing in SSRS. I want everybody to do this. This is very easy, much less complicated than the first part. All right, it's done downloading. Let me give about 2 more minutes. Who's still downloading it? Anybody still downloading it? When you say silent, it means that all of you are done downloading.
Yes, sir.
Is there any reason why I should not proceed?
Right, sir.
All right, so silent means you agree with the majority. Okay.
Someone's hand is up.
Someone has up. Chokes, yes. Choke.
I mean, I'm still downloading.
What's the percentage download? How many minutes left?
Oh, so it's completed.
Okay. Anyone else still downloading? Those from Africa, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana? All right. Okay. Okay, cool. Looks like nobody's okay. So let's get to the download folder. So let's go here, and then we're going to open it. So it's as simple as that. Once you open it, just say install SSRS reporting service, run it. And of course, it's asking for the evaluation edition. I don't want that. I want to run the enterprise edition. Why is it letting me choose this? Okay. Okay, so let's go get that key that we pasted last time. Where did I put that key actually? Where did I put the key? Let's see. I put that key somewhere. Media, licenses, product key. Okay, this is it here. All right, copy this key and go back here and paste the key in here.
So can you paste it in the form?
Paste that on chat.
I see those who don't do their homework. When I say today, make sure you keep the key. You guys were like, oh, yes, yes, we're keeping the key. All right, let me put it in the WhatsApp chat. All right, so this.
Doc, what edition are we picking up? Evaluation?
It's the 2019 we're installing. You already have SQL Server 2019, so you need to download the 2019.
Is there evaluation or?
No, the production, that's why we need the key. So where am I posting this? I'm posting it on the text room. Most of you are not yet in the community forum, right? So I'll need to post it.
Log even on the Zoom chat.
No, you'll not be able to copy. Open My Offer Letter has most of you. Either you're on Open My Offer Letter or you are in Tech forum. You should be in one of these forums.
Doc, I only have a evaluation developer and express edition.
No, Chuck, at the bottom of it, that says just select that product. That you should have. If you click on the, if you went from a data center, you should have it.
I went through the data center. And
you don't have the second option to choose. All right, let me start the installation before I look at your screen. Next, install only. You have the option to install reporting services only. You need to have or install a database engine on the server or on a different server. This will only work if you have already installed a database engine. That's what I mean. All right, so you have to explain this, put this one in talking points, right? Some of the things that I've done, I got projects where I need to install SSRS. We're going to install this SSRS. We're going to configure it, make sure it's working. We're going to also learn how we can grant permissions to users. And then after that, if I have more time, I will help you guys to do a migration from one server to another. That should end the project. Okay, so next, this is where you're going to install it. Then we'll run the install. Yes, install it for me. All right, Chuck, please share your screen. I don't know how long this is going to take. Hopefully, it don't take too long.
Doc, what I was asking, is it evaluation?
So share your screen, please.
I haven't received the key. I don't know where to get that.
Are you not in the Carry Offer My Offer Letter? You guys are not there? You are not there, Sage?
No, I never received that. I don't know. That's why I've been asking about that. Remember,
I did not add anybody. I did not add anybody on that forum.
I'm not there.
That's why I am.
The class is about to start in the next couple of days, and you are not in Open My Offer Letter. You're sitting very comfortable.
So can you see my screen?
So that just says you enter the product key. That's what I was asking you to do.
No, I was asking, is it evaluation edition that I have to put?
No, you are selecting the other option.
Okay. I got it. Thank you.
All right, where should I send the key? Let me send the key in your forum.
He already sent it.
Oh, okay. All right. You all good? All of them?
I'm good.
All right. My setup is completed for me.
Me too.
Let's take 2 more minutes, make sure everybody got it, and then we move on.
Do we need to restart the computer?
Is they asking for a restart?
No, I see. Why not?
Are you guys done? Is there anyone still installing? All right, let's move on. Sometimes when I'm teaching and asking this question, you guys are saying very quiet. Soon you guys are saying,
Please, no, we are still installing.
How super fast I am. But
at least we are still installing.
All right. What's the percentage installed?
Completed.
Elvis, what's your percentage installed?
It's not presenting any percentage, Doc.
Well, you can guess. Where's the bar, the arrow? Is it somewhere between left, right?
It should be like 50.
Yeah, that's slow.
Apart from Elvis, who else is still installing? Guys, do yourself a favor and really do this. It's completely independent from the other topic that scared most of you away. Right? Do this at least.
I think you should give it a break.
Take a break. All right. Okay. Let's take a 5 minutes break, please. Let's come back at all right. Let's come back 10:05. 10 minutes break.
Mr. Romeo, God bless you.
All right. Next. And then next, install. Depending on how long it takes for you to install it, once you're done installing.
Thank you, Doc.
God bless you, sir.
Let me see how long it's going to take.
Okay.
It looks like it's okay. Yours was going quite fast. Okay, let's proceed, guys. All right, so at this particular moment, we have already installed SSRS. We need to configure it, right? Remember, for you to configure SSRS, you must have already installed SQL Server database engine. And the way most companies do is that in every company, please mute your lines. In every company, there is, Romeo, let me make you call me so you'll be helping me mute this people.
Yeah.
All right. In every company that you have out there, there is a server that runs the report, right? So most companies will do is that they will look for one particular server and then they will run the report. And sometimes I'll give you a scenario what happened to me. We had a production server that was giving us a lot of issues. And what I realized was that this production server, and I'm giving you this for you to listen to this and put it down as your talking point for the interview. A scenario where you were forced to install SSRS. Now, what happened was our production server was having a lot of performance issues. Every single day, users are complaining the server is running slow and so on. We did everything. It was still running slow. What I identified was that some of the queries were running, and those queries were actually reports that are run by the analytical team and the HR team. They will run this report during the day. In the middle of production, I will slow down the production server. Now, when you run a report, what are you doing? You are barely reading data. You are not writing. You're only reading. So I came up with an idea, since these are just reports and the SSRS was installed on the production server, let us move the SSRS from that production server and create a brand new server and only install SSRS on that server. And when you do that, all those users that were running their report, anybody that needs read only on a database, you can send that user now to the SSRS server. And because you are doing so, you need to also make sure that the same databases that are in the production server are also in the reporting server. And because the user needs real-time data, we needed to implement another technology that will move the data from the production to the reporting server. I came up with two technologies. Either we use transactional replication or log shipping. The company decided that we're going to use log shipping. So what happened is that I went ahead, installed this SSRS on a new server, and I set up log shipping from production to this SSRS. And then I removed everyone that was doing read-only transaction from the production, and that individual was running on the SSRS server. And that solved the problem. You can put that as a talking point on some of the performance tuning scenarios that you've encountered and how you troubleshoot it and how you resolve it. I've said it, it's on tape. You can make it on your OneNote, you put it away, you can talk about it, and you see. So that's what we did. So I went ahead there, install SSRS on the brand new server. When you finish installing, you need to configure that. So you go here on configure report server. So you click on it. What happens when you install SSRS that something is created called SSRS configuration manager, report server configuration manager. Whenever you install SSRS, it's just like SQL Server configuration manager to manage the database engine, right? So it creates it on the server. It says here the server name. The server name is not going to be Kiawe, but Kiawe prod, right? That is server name. And the instance, it creates an instance called SSRS. Let me see. Wait a minute, it doesn't find that. Fine. Okay, connect. All right. So at this point here, we are connected to SSRS configuration manager, but it's not yet configured. You have the option to stop and you can start it, just like configuration manager in SQL Server. You can stop and start it. So when you look down here, it says the task is completed successfully. So right now, SSRS is running, but it's not yet configured. What do I mean by it's not yet configured? Every SSRS has a database, right? Database server, and that database is called SSRS. When you configure SSRS, two databases are created. One is called SSRS report server, and another one is called a report server TempDB, right? So let's go ahead and configure database. So at this point here, I have to go on change database, and I'm creating a brand new database because it doesn't exist. Now, at this particular moment, if you are migrating SSRS on a server that already has a database, you're going to go to this option and say, choose an existing database, choose an existing report server database. Since we're doing it for the first time, we need to configure the database. When you configure it, it will create this report server DB. All right, so next. You see, we're connected to the server. At this point here, you can use a service account if you know the username and password. And of course, I do know my username and password. If you don't, you can still use current user integrated security. It picks your user automatically. So if you had a different account that should run SSRS, you are going to go here and say SQL Server account. And you put the account here. But now, since the only account I have is myself, the same user, I'm selecting this, but at work, this is not what you will do. You need to find the account, ask for the account, and put the account here. We can test the connection and see whether it connects successfully. So that's failing what? Could not connect to server, instance specific error occurred, the server was not found. Yes, this server is not found. So let me type. It's actually this pro. That's the server name that we have. Test. See, test successful. I was just looking at this, but the instance, I don't have a default instance. So I need to type the instance name directly. So I tested, it says successful. Okay, so we can go to next. You see, The database that gets created is called report server. And another database gets created called report server temp. So whenever you have SQL Server reporting services installed on any server, these two databases are created. Report server and report server temp. It's a native installation. Next. The credentials are already picked up. Next. And it's not going in and creating database.
One thing to point out here, Doc, you can actually set up the service account to just at the beginning prior to doing everything, just to avoid this. You see on the left there, under the Kiawitech SSRS on the top, you have the service account there.
Service account.
So you can set it there, you map it through the inbuilt account, or you provide the service account, which is the fully qualified one.
Yep. Yeah. All right. You see, it's now created, DSN created, everything configured successfully. So if I click finish, now my database has been created. If I go back to this server and check and open SSMS, I should see that a database has been created with those two databases have been created. Let's open it. Let's check. You can see here. Let me just run it as admin for now. Okay, so if I connect here now, just because I've done that, you see, these two databases are created. So even before you know, if you just log on the server and you go on the databases and you see these databases, you automatically know that there's SSRS running on that. And when you see this, what does that tell you? SSRS is also on that, right? This database gets created when we were creating the catalog. But these two databases are created when we create the, we'll configure SSRS. All right, that was just to show you. So let's go back here on SQL Server Report Server Configuration Manager. The next thing that we need to configure here, like Rodman was saying here, the service account, you can literally come here before you even do the installation and use another account. And this service account for SSRS must be a domain account. You cannot use a SQL Server authenticating account here. It must be a domain. And it even says here in bracket, domain/user. Right? Okay. So because we don't have a domain, so if you guys are testing it later on, you can use that. Configure a domain account and use it with it. Okay. So then we are about to leave. Yes. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to create here is the web service URL. There are two URL that we have here. You have the web service URL and then the web portal URL. You need to configure these two. And when I configure it, you're going to see it. The next thing is also email. In your company, if you have an SMTP server, you want that whenever the reports are run, you want an email sent to you. You can configure the email. But let's first start by configure the web URL. At this point here, you can see the web URL is already here. http:// the port is 80 and the server is pointing to is report server. Sometimes in the company, they will ask to create a DNS entry here, which will replace this. That you will have to request from the server team to create a DNS entry that will replace, that will point to this URL. Otherwise, these are the default values. So if you want to apply these default values, all you need to do is click on apply. And you see here waiting for the report server service. See, creating the virtual directory. It's once I've created the virtual directory was created, and you can see here, when it creates that, what happens is that it goes in there and reserves this port 80, right? And then it stops the services and restart the services. And now this URL is now created and you can use it to connect. The next thing We've already configured database. Now the next one is the web. You see the web is also the same. At this point here, there's a web service URL and web portal. You're going to see the differences, right? If you, the same thing we apply, or you can also ask for a DNS record to point to this URL, and users will connect using that entry. Okay, see, successfully created and everything looks good. Next thing here is email. Now, for you to use this, you must have an SMTP server. If you remember when we were configuring database mail, we needed an SMTP server. You have to provide an SMTP server in here, and you need to provide an email address here.
Doc, please, can you go back to the web portal?
Yes, here.
Okay.
All you need to do is click on apply.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay, so we are not going to configure any SMTP server for this. Execution account. Specify this account to enable the use of report data sources that do not require credentials or to connect to report server that stores external images used in report. At this point here, you don't really need to configure this. The only thing that I need to pay attention here is the encryption keys. These encryption keys are very important if you have to migrate an SSRS server. Without this encryption key, you will not be able to bring up the SSRS server on a different server. You need this encryption key. And then, of course, the subscription settings, these are already very advanced settings, the scale out deployment and Power BI here. Can connect Power BI directly here to pull the report and present it in a graphical way. So at this particular moment here, we are done. You can test to see if it's working by going back to web URL and click on this link. It should open now. You see, it's now opening on the web. Here we take / report server. You can also come here on the web portal and also click on this link also. There's two of them open. See? SQL Server Reporting Services successfully installed. It's now up and running. There's no folder, there are no reports, but you at the level of the DBA, most of the time you end here, you're able to configure it. But some of the times you might also be asked to grant permission to users, make sure the users are able to access it. And we're going to look at that after this. You see?
Doc, can I ask a question?
Yes, just wait, let me finish.
Okay.
The web URL looks different and the portal looks different. So when you have all those reports, once they start building reports, the reports will show up here. But this is where you do the configurations, granting permissions, seeing the users, building reports, and so on. Yes, Felix.
Doc, at this point, right? In some SSRS, this place that they wrote SQL Server Reporting Services, you can customize it to be like your company logo or something, right?
No, you cannot configure this. It will remain like that. Okay. The only thing you can configure here is that instead of users pointing directly on this, you can change this name to a DNS record. And users will point from the DNS record, and that DNS record will resolve through this.
Okay. Now I was thinking maybe you can customize it to like instead of displaying that name, you could display like a company name or
I don't know. Image. Probably it's possible, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I think I've seen it like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I've never done that. Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing. Anyone that's having issues can share right now before we move on.
Please, Doctor.
Yes, Doc, please. I didn't get the point of configuring the database.
All right. Share your screen, please. Yes, I am recording. Tell me. Okay, so let's go back to the database. All right, click on change database. All right, create a new database.
Okay.
Yeah, next. All right. Is that the instance name that you're using? I think it's missing this.
Yes.
Did you install it on the default instance?
Put a backslash and provide the instance name.
After that, you put a backslash.
Doc, on my own, I didn't put that backslash prod. So I noticed that I have a different instance with that name. Because when you went and started looking for went to look, I saw my own SSRS on a different, I didn't create it on my prod. So when I went back and connected with just this name, and I saw it differently as a standalone. So now I understand it was created on my default.
Yes, because like I said, right, SQL Server reporting services can be connected. You can configure that on any server. Let's say in your company, you have so many servers, you can choose anyone, and you don't necessarily have to run this report server configuration manager on that server. You can open it anywhere and you configure that and point it to that server here.
Oh.
And when you run it, it will be configured on that server. Okay.
Excuse me, Doc.
Can I ask a question, please?
I'm still behind, so I don't know if you could.
Yes, all I will do one and share screen one more time. Can you first test the connection to make sure it's connected? Okay, then click next. All right, so those two servers will be configured. Next. All right, we're using the MBA credentials. Next. All right, so at this point here, you're configuring your database.
Okay.
I can take about 5 minutes only talking about this in an interview. I make it sound very nice, how I did it. I can bring up some problems that I face here, just like Felix talked about configuring SSRS on a different box. Of course, they don't expect you to be a pro. They just want to know whether you know it. Finish. All right. Okay, let's go ahead on the web portal. Did you already do the web portal?
Yes, I did all this.
Okay. All right. Now let's try to open it. Launch it. Let's make sure it's working. It's not available. It says you're not configured properly. Is it open anywhere? No, you didn't do it right.
Well, I just came in and downloaded the Microsoft the report, and
that server that you pointed it to. Can you take me to that instance? The instance you installed the SSRS on.
This one.
Let's see the databases. Refresh databases. Expand databases. No, it's not there. You see, I don't think you did that. Are you sure that this is where you pointed it?
Yes, I pointed it to this.
Was it prod or prod one? Because I don't think you.
Oh, it was prod.
It was prod.
DBA is someone who pays attention to details. Go back to the configuration manager. Let's do it again. The SSRS configuration manager, please. SSRS configuration manager. Let's go back to database. Change database. New database. Prod one. Okay, next. You guys should count yourself extremely lucky. This is the first ever batch that we're teaching. We're having this whole topic in a week, right? So the number of jobs that should come as a result of this should increase, right? At least 10%. All right, so you see, databases are there. All right, go back now and launch it. Let's see whether the URL is working now. There you go. All right.
Thank you so much.
Elvis, share your screen.
Question, please.
Yes, Ahmed.
Yeah, thank you very much. Doctor, I want to bring your mind back to the web service URL.
Okay.
I noticed the TCP port is 80. And that is the default number.
Yes.
I'm thinking, is that not vulnerable?
No, it's not vulnerable because
Web.
the thing is that for you to access SSRS, you're going to realize that you have to be a Windows you can only grant a Windows authentication in SSRS. Okay. And for an individual to be part of the Active Directory and have a Windows credential, you need to have passed through, at least be able to mimic another account to go in there and be able to create your own account.
Yeah.
So at this level, it becomes a little bit more secured when it comes to that. Those ports, you can see, if you go back to web URL, who's sharing, okay, Elvis is not yet done. But if you check your web URL, you see that it says it's not secure, right? Because there's no certificate. It's just internal. That port is just internal. One thing that you have to do is that if you configure this SSRS and it's not working, you need to find out from the Windows team if there's any firewall. If there's a firewall between those servers, you need to make sure that that port 80 is allowed to go through the firewall.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So Elvis here. Okay. Yes.
Thank you. Please, sir, can you walk me through all this step? How to configure this?
We're doing it. So watch what Elvis is doing. I want to start it one more time.
Okay.
Elvis, does that instance exist? Cancel this for cancel here.
When I cancel, it will go back to the installation. I get my problem. The instance
cancel. Cancel. Go back to that installation. Well, no, not here. The thing is just there on the bottom. The last icon there. The last icon. That one. You to install this.
Yes,
all right.
I did.
All right. No, don't install it again. Cancel it.
Okay.
Launch. Go and look for SQL for a report server configuration manager. Go on your start bar and look for report server configuration manager. Scroll, yeah, that one. Just click connect. All right. Okay, now let's go ahead and configure database.
Got.
On the database, change database, create a new one. You don't have an existing database, create a new one. Now the server name now, is it Beaver /prod or just Beaver? You don't know?
SSM, I don't know though.
Just choose any server. You can install this on any server. Look for any server provided.
Any instance on this that you have. What instance do you have? Can you open SSMS here?
I just install my SSM. That's the problem. It's
yes.
Still,
okay. Do you have SQL Server installed on this machine?
Yes, it was on my VM, not on.
Not the VM. I'm not talking about a VM. I mean the local machine.
Oh no.
But the condition number one for SSRS was what? You must have a database engine running on the machine before you can configure it.
I see my problem now.
So if you don't have a database engine, SSMS is just a tool to connect to SQL Server database engine. So if you have just SSMS, what are you connecting to? Right, so you have to make sure that on your local machine that you have at least one instance of SQL Server running.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Stop sharing. Marcel, share your screen. Let me continue with you. All right. Marcia, let's first start with the database. All right, the database is configured. Right? Okay.
Yes.
Can you show me the database on the cell on the instance that is? Can you show me the database? Okay, I can see the database. All right, let's go back to configuration manager. Go on the web URL, the one above. Expand that. Apply is at the bottom of the screen. Maximize that screen, please. Just maximize it. There you go. Click on apply. Okay. You go on the web portal and do the same thing. Web portal. Apply. All right, click on that link and the URL now, it should open. Service is unavailable. Close it. Go back again. Try the other one. Go back again and try the other one. Go web service URL. Click that link one more time. While this is loaded, can you go back and try the web portal again?
This
web portal URL. No, that's the web URL. The website, web portal. Try it one more time. Yeah, it loads. All right. It just takes some time to load. You're good.
Doc.
Hold on first. I have Sema's hand up. Sema, what's your question?
Yeah, Doc. I tried to connect with prod, but I'm unable to even connect. Can I share my screen with?
All right, go ahead. Well, if I'm not able to do a migration, you guys will treat that as a homework. Test it yourself.
See.
The prod, is it S scale down
like
name
this?
spell right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, but at the beginning you don't have to put that name. That's not it. You just have to commit to the default. Cancel that.
Yeah,
right
the
from
name.
the beginning. No, cancel it. Cancel that. Just cancel the whole thing. Open it again one more time. So what are you looking for? You have to look for a report server configuration manager. No, you're not. It's not. That's not how you open it. You have to, it's now installed. A configuration manager is on your start menu. Go look for the configuration manager. That's it up there. Report server configuration manager. That's how you manage it.
Okay. You see this how it comes?
Just click connect. Just click connect. By default, it takes always the name. It creates its name. That does not mean that it's connecting to any server. You are still to connect to a server.
Yeah, yeah. Now, from here, I can take it on. Thank you so much. That's where I was blocked.
Shehu, go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay. When I click on the link, it's saying not available. I don't know if I can share my screen here. So.
Yes, please go ahead. Share your screen.
Okay. So when I click on this link, it's saying not available.
Click on it. Let's see. Okay, close it.
Doc.
Yeah, close it. Let's first go on. Make sure the database is configured. Go on database.
Okay.
No, here on that link, just go up, click on databases. Yeah, see, database is not configured. So it will not open unless it points to a database, right? It's making a connection, and that connection has to be on a database. So go on change database on your right. Next. The server, that which instance it was it a prod or dev?
It's prod.
Okay, put a backslash and put a prod instantly.
Yeah.
All right, test connection. Let's make sure it's connect. Okay, that's good. And then next. Next. Those are two databases that gets credit. Next. Next. All right, so the database has to be created first before you try to connect to it. Guys, make sure you're doing it because most of your problems are the same. I keep people share their screen and I hope that those hands that are up are having different problems. Finish. All right, go back to web URL and apply. Next, on the database. All right, and then try now. It needs some time to refresh. Go back now. Let's try the other portal. The other URL. Close this. Go down to. Let's go back. Let's first start with the service URL, the one above databases. Click on that one.
Web service.
Yes, web service URL.
Okay.
Okay. Try the link.
Okay.
This is always the URL you're going to use to connect the web service. That is what the one that takes you to the web.
The portal is what the DBA at the background uses to manage. But those that are connecting will be connecting to this. Any report that is provisioned through the web portal URL, when you connect, you're able to see it from here. So you don't expect that every user that's using SSRS will be able to see that other web portal. Go now, Shaun, and try the web portal now. It should work now.
Mm-hmm.
Close it. Try the web portal. No, that's the same link. The web portal URL. All right. That should work now. All right. When you do that, it always takes some time to synchronize. That's why it fails the first time. All right. Let me see how many hands are still up. Olivia, your hand is up.
Yeah, when you're creating a database, does it matter the edition?
Yes, it doesn't matter. If the SQL Server database engine is a different edition, and the SSRS that you install is a different edition, it will work. You have to first upgrade.
Okay, that means I know my problem. Thanks.
Okay, but if you have, remember, when you are creating a database, you can point to any instance. So if you have any instance of 2019, you can use it. Do you have any?
I'll check and see.
All right, check it, and when you are creating database, that's when it says server name, put that instance that has a 2019 database engine in it, since you downloaded SSRS 2019. Yes, Raphael, I have a question.
I'm not able to connect to my web service URL.
All right, share your screen. At least the migration part, I want you guys to go and test it out yourself using your VMs, but the how to grant permission, I would like to show you guys before we close the class. All right, was the database configured? Let's first share the database. Yes, database is configured. All right, and the web URL is still not working?
It's not working. The portal is working, the web is not.
All right, let's see it. Try it again. Let's see. It's working. What else do you want to see?
It's working now. Wasn't working before. I got an error message before.
Okay. All right. Maybe it was just needing some time to refresh. All right.
Just
okay.
Just open the other one. Let's be sure. I think you should open the other one too. Okay.
Okay, guys. Let me use the remaining few minutes
Okay,
to at least.
it went through, dog. So I choose
Okay.
it. Thanks.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's use the remaining few minutes. Let me show you guys how you can actually, if users now need access, because what you're doing here, you are the super user, right? You're the DBA. You have admin rights. You can do all this, but those that will be eventually connected to this, they don't have the access. They will have to come to you and say, hey, Sema, please, can you grant me some permission? I need to run SSRS. I need to do this. I need to do that. There are two ways you have to grant users. First, just like in SQL Server, where for a user to access database, that user must have a login. In SSRS, it's also the same. You need to have, first of all, a login into SSRS, and then you give granular permission. What will that individual do? Just like on database, it has to be a login, and on the database, you can give that login as a user to be read-only, read-write, DBO, whatever permission you give. Here is the same. How can we do that? First, if you come here on the settings, this is where you have to, first of all, grant user access, that's as a login into this exercise. If I click here and go on site setting, and down here under security, you can add users here. And there are only two types of user. If you click on add group, it can only be a system user or a system administrator. A system user is just a user of the system. An administrator has more permission. For example here, view and modify system role assignment, system role definition, system properties, and share folder, share schedule. This one can view system properties, share a schedule, and allow use of report builder or other client that execute a report. It doesn't have enough permission to grant things around. So I can go here and say, let me grant my own user. Remember, in SSRS, you can only create AD users, not SQL Server authentication. So in this case here, since you guys all have your account, I can actually create one for my AD account. I hope this works out because this is local. This is Dennis. And I'm going to make myself here as a system admin and say, see, now I've created a user. That's all. All you need to do is someone asks you to create a user. You know what the company domain is. I know what the username is. Go ahead and do it. But what is the best practice in doing this? Do you need to create individual user or create groups?
Groups.
You have to create groups. Our rule of thumb is what? Whenever someone needs access, create group in the Active Directory and put that user under groups. That's it. No individuals, right? So I would have taken myself and looked for a group, maybe DBA team, put myself under that group and grant but the group in here, right? So let's make sure everybody can at least add themselves. How did I do that? You went up here on the portal, on the site settings, and then scroll down here on security, and then click on add. Just type your computer name here, backslash your username, and grant what permission you're giving the user, and click user. You can read more here on what branding means, what schedule means, when we're on security, right? All right. So now this guy is a user, but he still cannot access, do other things, maybe granular things onto the report, building report and so on. So I can go here. If I need to do that, I need to first come back here on SSRS reporting services. I have the option here, say manage folder. If I click on it, it still has something here, say security. and there are more. It's here is granular. So I click add. I can type my name again. One more time. You click on SSRS, you have this option here, say manage folder. You click on it, and it takes you to security page, and you can add group O user, and it must be a domain. So here we take as a domain /Dennis, and there are different roles that you can grant. First, browser is more like read only. If you give someone a browser role, that person may view folders, report, and subscription, and subscribe to reports. If you give someone content manager, that person may manage content in their report server. This includes folders, report, and resources. If you say grant person my report, that person may publish report and link a report, manage folders, report, and resources in a user my report folder. So he can go in on his my report folder and do all these things. If another user create a report, that individual will not be able to. Next one is publisher. May publish and link report to the report server. Report builder may view report definition. So if I'm giving all this, I want the individual to be able to do all this, I'm giving him, this is more like giving that individual a DBO that can do everything. It's not limited to anything on the server. Just click OK. That individual now has the right permission. I get this all the time, right? Granting user the right permissions, creating user on a server, and granting the right permission. Guys, the only thing that I've not demonstrated is how I can migrate an SSRS server. That is homework for you. Figure that out. And remember what I told you at the beginning, when during migration, you must back up this key and must restore the key. Let me just walk you through the process without even doing the demo. If I need to migrate this, what I need to do is first, I need to come here and back up this encryption key. Because without this encryption key, you cannot migrate that SSRS server. So once I've backed up this encryption key, the next thing I need to do is I need to come to the instance where SSRS is configured, and I either do a detach and attach of these databases, or I do a backup and restore. When you do that, on the next instance where you're moving it to, you need to come back on the encryption key and do what? Restore. It will take you to a folder location where the key was backed up and kept. Browse it, select the key, click OK, apply it, and restart your SSRS, and you're done. Practice that, you know, in one of the Tuesday webinar, we can give another, we can do a quick demo on how to migrate an SSRS. And this officially brings me to the end of your training at Kiawite. To practical training. We have about 50. Oh, I was able to keep at least 52 people to the end. Only 5 people gave up. That's good. All right. Now, guys, we have been asking you guys to subscribe to our channel. You guys enjoy us uploading videos, and nobody, not say nobody, but most of you have not given us review, right? Most of you have not subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything to click on that little button and say subscribe, right? The more subscriptions we have, the better we place online.
Can you pause the recording?
Yes. All right.